I am not ready for today.
Oh, I know it. These hours are killing me.
Morning, ladies. How are we doing today?
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
What's our schedule looking like for today?
We're pretty busy.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty booked.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Isabela Rodriguez to check herself in.
Okay, cool. Well, have a nice day. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.
You too.
Him again.
Dad, can we please not do this?
It's okay, bud. You got this. We'll be okay.
But it hurt last time.
Hey, how about after we're done, we'll go grab ice cream somewhere. So then it'll be a reward for going through this.
How is that gonna help?
It'll help because it gives you something in the future to think about, so you can focus on that instead of this.
Can we go to the movies instead?
Sure. What do you want to go see?
I heard there's that new Iron Man movie out.
I don't know what's playing. We can figure it out. That'll be a help.
Maybe.
Okay. I think you're gonna do fine, son. You did fine before Logan.
Yeah, I guess.
Logan and Frank Jenkins?
Okay, so Sue, everything looks pretty good. I looked over your blood work and all the other tests that we did, but the main thing I want to focus on is that, you know, you want to keep an eye on your cholesterol as you get older, and you want to keep an eye on your sugar levels because, you know, if they get in the wrong direction, it's sometimes hard to come back from it. So, but everything looks good. I'll probably see you in a couple months, and if you have any questions or anything, just contact my nurse and they'll make sure I get the message, okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Izzy.
Hi, how are you this morning?
I'm okay. Just here to check in for my appointment.
I'm sorry, my computer's acting up.
Oh, it's okay, no problem. I can check you in right here.
Okay. Yeah. I try to be on time so that, like, you know, I know the doctor doesn't like it when I'm late, so.
All right, you're all set?
Thanks.
I know you know where to go, so.
Thanks, Nia. It's really good to see you guys.
It's so great to see
I'll
you
be in
here.
the waiting room then.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, so this was the kind of that movie that they were shooting a couple of months ago.
Oh, I'm Kris, by the way.
Oh, hey, I'm Izzy.
Hey, Izzy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What are you here for?
I got this weird call, like, to come in, like, suddenly, and, I mean, it's kind of almost time for my checkup, so I'm trying not to be, like, worried, but how about you?
It's a annual, checkup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really don't like coming to the hospitals, but
Yeah, me neither. Like, I just want to get it over with. I'm just hoping they'll call me soon.
no, yeah, they should be calling you soon. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Isabela Rodriguez?
That's you.
Yep.
Good luck.
Hey, thanks. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Izzy, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. How are you doing?
Okay. I guess. Just worried. I got your call, and I started wondering what could be wrong with me.
Nothing's wrong with you. It's about your mother.
What about her?
Elena came in about a month ago, complaining of a headache and some hearing loss in her right ear. Well, I examined her, and I couldn't find anything wrong with her ear. So I ran her symptoms by a few of my colleagues, who suggested that she have a biopsy.
Oh, no.
We found a substantial tumor on the right side of her brain. And based on where it is, it's almost completely inoperable. I'm really sorry.
Like, you mean... How much time
It's always hard to say, but my best guess is 3 to 6 months. Thought she would have told you by now, but I had an appointment with her yesterday, and she told me she hadn't told you yet.
Why didn't you let her tell me?
Izzy, I've been your family's doctor for longer than you've been alive. And, you know, she had a month to tell you about their diagnosis, and she never did. So, you know, now that we have the POA is on paper and legal, I don't know. I just feel like at this point, she's not protecting you anymore. This isn't like telling a child the truth about Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. There's some very hard decisions you're going to have to make soon.
Izzy, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you come in.
It's fine. Do you need help?
Oh, no, of course not. Now look, you go sit. Can I get you something? I had tamales for dinner, and I think there might be one left over.
A tamale sounds great.
You always loved my tamales.
Still do. These are delicious. You gotta give me the recipe.
Oh, no. You can have it when I'm dead and in the ground. What?
Mom, I just came here from Dr. Johnson's office. Why didn't you tell me?
Izzy, I don't want to talk about this right now.
Mom! You named me your medical power of attorney. You had an obligation to
Don't
tell
be
me.
disrespectful!
Jesus, Mom. I'm 47. What did you think was gonna happen? Did you want me to come in here and find you laying on the kitchen floor dead?
I didn't want you to worry. I didn't want to be a burden. See?
Mom, you're not a burden. You never have been. But you can't protect me from stuff like this anymore.
Izzy.
I love you to the ends of the earth.
I'm so scared.
I am too, Mom.
It's pepper.
What?
The tamales. The secret ingredient. It's pepper.
Mom, you're shitting me.
Swear to God.
Oh. What do you want to do with the time that's left?
I want to be with you. With my family.
been writing his hope so much through all of this. I wrote you something, but I was so mad because you died before I could finish it. So, it's finished now. It's called Is It Okay? I know that I have to move on. But is it okay if I can't? Is it okay if I still want you here? Is it okay if I feel like the person doing all the chores and the groceries and the laundry isn't really me? Like it's some out-of-body experience. Will I just take a minute to mend the hole in my heart? Is it okay to feel like a child confronted with a harsh, unfair reality? Because I just couldn't have my way.
Yes?
What?
The answer to your questions is yes.
It's just rhetorical. It's poetry.
I didn't mean to pry in on a private moment. It's just that your mom's grave is pretty close to my mom's.
Don't worry about it.
No, what you wrote was beautiful.
Thank you.
My name's Samantha.
I'm Isabela.
I know it may not seem like it, but Isabela, but it does get better.
Has it gotten better for you?
In some ways, yes. In others, not so much.
What do you mean?
Someone once said that grief is like a ball inside of a box. And every time the ball touches the side, you grieve. In the beginning, the ball is big, and it's constantly touching every side. And it feels like the grief will never end. But after a while, the ball starts to shrink. It starts to roll around. You'll feel happiest when the ball is in the middle of the box. But when the ball hits the side of the box, the grief will hit you. After a while, the grief will only come again in spurts, now and then.
Does it ever go completely away?
Will you ever stop loving your mom?
No.
I've heard it said that grief is just love with no place to go. And as long as you have love for your mom, and as long as it has no place to go, the grief will be there.
Do you always come here when you need to cry?
Oh, God, no. If I came here every time I needed to cry, I mean, I might as well put up a tent beside my mom's gravestone.
Yeah, that's true. What do you do with the sadness that has nowhere to go?
I go to some support groups.
Oh no, I could never do that.
Why not?
Because it's too much like Alcoholics Anonymous.
I don't think that anyone in my support group is addicted to their grief.
I know I should give it a shot. But I just don't know if I can be vulnerable in front of a group of people.
Why not start one-on-one?
With a therapist?
No. You and me. Coffee. Next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I could do that.
Okay.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. I'm so sorry.
I really appreciate you doing this. But if you're just here to try to convince me to join that support group,
I'm not. You're not ready for that yet.
I'm not sure if I'll ever be ready.
Then let's just do this. But bottling up grief will destroy you.
I don't even know where to begin.
Well, let's start with how you're doing today.
Today, all things considered, it's fine. I was able to do some laundry.
That's good. I remember when my mom passed away, it took me quite a while before I could get back to cooking, cleaning, laundry.
How did you pick yourself back up again?
By remembering that I had a family to take care of. I couldn't just crumble when they needed me.
It's still really hard for me not to fall apart.
It's gonna be like this for a while.
It's like every time I think I'm taking a step forward, I'll remember that there's something I have to tell my mom. And then
You remember that she's not here anymore? That's the grief that stays with you. That's the ball inside of the box.
it's not just grief. It's guilt too.
What do you mean?
On the night that she died, she'd had an appointment earlier that day to try to surgically remove most of it, as much as they could. But I was hoping, in vain, that they could get all of it. I shouldn't have been so hopeful.
They couldn't get all of it.
What?
The tumor. There's still some left.
What's gonna happen to it?
It will continue to grow.
So that's it? You're just gonna give up?
You see, don't be like this. You know I love you. And you know I'm a fighter. But this is too big of a fight for me to win.
How can you say that? You haven't even tried. I didn't mean it. And I don't know why I said it.
You probably didn't realize it, but you were beginning to grieve even then.
Which sounds like an excuse.
You can't beat yourself up forever. What happened in the end?
I apologized.
Promise me something, you see?
Anything.
You have to take care of yourself.
Of course.
I mean it. This tumor, I can't help but feel that if I had caught it earlier, things would be so different.
I think that's what breaks my heart the most. The regret in her voice.
For something that wasn't her fault.
Exactly.
I hope you know it wasn't your fault either.
I know. I just wish I could understand it. It's like, why do people have to get so sick? We're more than 20 years into the 21st century. Why hasn't terminal illness become a thing of the past?
That's something that no one can know. I'm just gonna leave this right here. Let me know if you need a hand with this. I could have used it after my mom passed away.
Yeah, it's just some of my mom's old stuff. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
That's yeah.
Oh. It's my mom's handwriting.
Oh, maybe it got mixed in with... Maybe your mom's mail got mixed in with your stuff.
No, I don't remember this envelope.
Dear Izzy, if you're reading this, it means that I've passed away. I delivered this letter to my attorney and gave him strict instructions only to mail it to you once he's learned of my death. First, I want to tell you that you are the strongest, smartest, and most beautiful woman I know. These last few months have been tiring for me, but I also see the toll they've left on you. As much as I know you'll miss me, I want you to go and live your dreams now, whatever they may be.
By remembering that it's what your mom wants you to do. You have proof in that letter. Most people can only assume what their dead relatives would want for them. But you have it in writing. The bottom line is, you have to find a way to be productive, to occupy your time. Otherwise, you'll find yourself swirling in a profound grief that can overtake you.
For some of us, it's not that easy.
I know it isn't easy.
It definitely takes time. It's just getting over such a profound loss seems like a betrayal.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, Linda, but I don't know if the group knows much about what happened to you. They certainly won't force you. but it might be helpful to tell your story.
I had my second child about 6 months ago. A little boy we named Elijah. My husband, Seth, and I were smitten. Our family was complete. 2.5 weeks after we brought Eli home, we had a pretty good routine down. My husband would feed Eli with a bottle of my milk around midnight, and I'd take care of the 3 a.m. feeding. We'd set these alarms, but Eli usually woke us up crying before they'd go off. Until one night, he didn't. That night. God, I remember it like it was yesterday. Seth fed Eli around 11:30. I heard him get up, but I quickly went back to sleep. At 3 a.m, the alarm I set went off. I looked over at the bassinet, expecting to see Eli awake. You see, sometimes he'd wake up and be kind of content, and we'd hear him cooing to himself. We'd feed him and he'd go back to sleep. He really was one of the easiest babies in the world to care for. So I walk over, expecting to see him awake. But that night, his eyes were shut. I rubbed his cheek. And he was just so cold.
Oh my God, no.
The 4 of us, we rushed to the hospital. But Eli was gone. Sudden infant death syndrome.
That's another avenue we'll explore in these sessions. The guilt that we can feel over someone else's loss. I know that you feel like getting over that loss is a betrayal, but you were and are a great mom. You just need to believe that again.
I'm Izzy.
Good to see you, Izzy. Linda was just sharing her story with us, but it might be good to give her a bit of a break. Would you care to share?
I recently lost my mom. She had cancer. And the worst of it is, I found out there was someone else. I lost my grandma a few months ago. She gave me this bear when I was little. I've kept it with me ever since she passed. I was really skeptical about coming here at first, but for what it's worth, it's nice to be in a room where everyone understands what the crushing weight of grief feels like.
My son died from a brain tumor, too. It's a hell of a thing to have in common, right? Loved ones with brain tumors.
Sticking with Samantha's theme, though, what are some ways that we can focus on other things to keep our mind off of the grief?
I bought a 1967 Ford Mustang a few weeks ago. Something my late wife will never let me do. I'm gonna work on restoring it. Maybe take it to some car shows in the area.
That's great. Focus on those things that keep your mind off of the grief, and you'll notice that you start to move on from it. Who else would like to share?
What if you've tried to find things to occupy your time, but it hasn't worked?
I don't think anyone here is denying that it takes a good amount of time and a good bit of strength. Tell us more about the grief that you're dealing with.
6 months ago, my brother overdosed. I was the one who found him. I'm Maria, by the way. There was a time where I thought I might take vows and enter a convent. I wanted to become a Carmelite nun. But now I'm not so sure. I think that's the worst part about all of this. I feel like I'm losing my faith and I don't know how to get it back. My brother, he was a good person, a good kid, barely out of his teen years. Why wouldn't God protect him from something like this? This was his. I wear it to remember him.
Your brother, he sounds like me. Hey, I'm Daniel. Should I say he sound like what could have happened if I didn't get clean?
When did your addiction start?
It started in probably the same way it starts for people who get hooked these days. I broke my leg and my doctor prescribed me some oxycodone for the pain.
And then one thing led to another.
Yeah, I ran out of pills to crush and I started looking for the kind of people who, dealers, I guess you could say.
You're here now, though. So what turned it around for you?
My girlfriend, she left me. She said she wouldn't take me back until I got clean. So I went to rehab, and by the time I came out, she already found someone else. And she said she thought I would understand because we were on a break. But the worst thing about it is, I feel like I'm forced to be happy for her because she seems so happy with this new guy. But inside it's killing me.
I think sharing these kinds of things is helpful. Let's keep it up. Would you like to share?
Suppose I have to at some point, huh? Hi, I'm Grace, and I'm sick. I don't know if I'm ready to open up with details yet, but lately, I've been experiencing some changes at home that I think are due to my illness, that I don't like. My family means well, but lately, they've been trying to help me with tasks that I'm perfectly capable of doing on my own. Suddenly, I'm not allowed to bring in the mail or work in the garden or do anything that brings me any sort of enjoyment. And when I ask them about it, they just say it's because they're worried about me. The other night in bed, I kissed my husband Greg in that, that way that sort of invites other things to happen. I guess he didn't get the hint.
They're men. No offense to present company, it's just they are not good with nonverbal cues.
I guess the whole point of me being here is because I feel like a wilting flower. Like, everyone just thinks I'm gonna die soon or something. You know, I keep my doctor's original diagnosis in my wallet as a reminder of what I overcome every day.
I'm feeling a loss of intimacy with my husband too. I remember, for what it's worth, Grace, it may have nothing to do with your condition. It might have more to do with age. When we were young, my husband and I, how do I say this politely?
Used to fuck like bunnies?
Yeah, like bunnies. And I still want him very much, but it's either he's too tired or I'm too tired. Actually, the other day, I looked online for a vibrator, and now all of my social media and web ads are for vibrators.
This has been great so far. And now we're down to 2 more. Would you like to share?
Not really.
But I think you'll find
It's my dad. He left my mom, my brother, and I in the middle of the night about a year and a half ago. I haven't seen him since, and I don't know why he left. My mom works all the time to provide for my brother and me, so she's never home, which means I have to raise him, help him with his homework, the whole 9. I think the worst part is I'm so angry at him for leaving, but I don't want my brother to be mad at him. So every night before he goes to bed, I take this little photo of my dad out of my wallet, and I tell him that his dad loves him and that he'll be back. Guess I'll tell him the truth the same time he learns about Santa Claus.
This probably won't give you much comfort, but I'd almost prefer if my mom would leave me alone. Nothing's ever good enough, you know. Started keeping track of it a couple years ago, made a fun little game out of it. Hey Mom, guess what? Got a raise at work. Noticed you started gaining some weight. You should join a gym. Hey Mom, joined a gym, lost 10 pounds. Are you still brushing your teeth? They look yellow in your online profile picture. Hey Mom, finally found a really great girl. I want you to meet her. You should go out to dinner with us. That's a really expensive restaurant. Is she a gold digger? And on and on and on. Every day.
Have you said anything to her about it?
You insane? That would only invite her wrath. No, I just look at my watch and when 10 minutes passes, say, gotta go, Mom, bye. You know, the funny thing is, she bought me this watch. I don't even use watches. I usually just look at my phone. But when I'm on the phone with her, I use it to keep track of how long until I can hang up on her.
You bring up an interesting point, Brett. There's one thing you all have in common, and I don't know if you realize it, but you all keep an object tied to the person or thing that is causing you grief and emotional turmoil. While you might find these things comforting, I also think that they may be holding you back from releasing that grief. Maybe, when you all feel ready, you can stop carrying those things around.
Izzy, we made it. Oh, Samantha.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, welcome. I'm so happy that you came.
Me too. I was so scared.
Oh, but you were so brave when you came.
Thank you for not giving up on inviting me.
Oh, never. Never.
You're so awesome. I'm so glad I met you.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna write a book.
About your mom?
It's gonna be part narrative with some of the stories she told, but it's also gonna be part cookbook. She left her recipe box to me in her will.
She's still feeding you even after she's gone.
Yeah. Thank you.
The most important thing that our support group taught me isn't how to let go of your grief. It's that no matter how sad or mad or confused or terrible you feel, it's that you're not alone.
And when you realize that, that's when you begin to heal.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Let's go get some tamales.
Come on.